Recording in
Next one.
progress.
Continue, Alfredo.
My brother found some rubber squishy toys. I told him they were for babies who are teething.
Mhm.
My father found a lead and leather belt for mother. I told him that she would absolutely loathe them.
Mhm.
Loathe them. Loathe
Uh,
them.
that she would absolutely.
Loathe loathe them.
Some help?
Loathe them.
Mhm.
Loathe them. Okay. They trusted me and put their gifts back. They helped me buy the soothing gifts I found and we drove back home together.
Mhm. Right, very good. All right. Game. All right, so we are going to watch the videos, guys. All the videos again. Okay. So you can take out the notes or the outline or anything that you
Teacher,
needed to ask. Yes.
teacher, now can you send us the link, please? It's because I don't know if my computer doesn't works well when the videos are
I'm running.
playing. Yeah, because I don't know the video is
It's crazy, right? Yes, I think that I was the one.
no.
The problem is that one of the videos, the first one, is not well. Actually, it is complete. Hold on. Okay, so these are the videos. Actually, I remember some of them are online, some are not. Do you have the link from the last one, guys?
I
The second
think someone sold send it. Let
one.
me
I
check.
I sent it. I sent it to you guys, but the day that we watched it. But did you keep the link?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Let me check in WhatsApp. No, 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 no.
Ah, yes, on video, right? It was
Give-
on video.
mhm.
Mhm.
So give me a second here. Let me send you the links for the others. Um,
Uh,
Uh, the the
this
second
one,
one.
let me check. This one is
oh,
from Vimeo. I will send it to the chat.
Of all the places in the world 60 Minutes has visited, and all the peoples we've met, Houston,
okay. So
it's a legend.
hold on.
The chat is not able.
Teacher, Justin said, please tell the teacher that my computer restart to not put me absent.
I don't know, but Fridays is very hard to be present in the class. But I'm always on Fridays.
Well,
Uh-huh.
for two
But you
hours,
leave
then you
early.
you go.
No, today I have free from the other place, so I will be here until the end.
No. All right. Okay, just give me a second while I find the videos. So I'll send them in the chat.
Okay, I have the second one here. Let me check
Mhm.
for the other one.
No, I found it. I'm just I want to send just one message. That's why I'm you know.
Oh, sorry, teacher, my computer restarted, so just in case.
All right.
That's why I
Just in
left.
time.
Just
Yeah.
in time for the attendance.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was scared. I was scared
Oh,
because
but what's Karen told us the
thank you,
situation.
Karen.
So guys, the one I sent, that's part 1 and 2 of the first video, and the second.
Okay.
The first two
Thank
links
you.
make the first video.
Karen,
Okay.
thank
Mhm.
you.
Teacher, so you send 3 links.
Of all the places in the
The
world,
first.
The first two are the first two make the first video.
Okay,
It's
okay.
divided in 2 parts.
it's a
All right.
sited around campfires bearing an astonishing resemblance.
Game.
Teacher.
Yes.
No. Yes. No. If you can mute us to see the video. Yeah. I don't know what happened
Quietly.
the other day.
Who lives by the train? I forgot.
Me, teacher,
Karen,
me.
Karen,
Where is it that you live, Karen, again?
Barrio Escalante.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Land of gods.
land of PP people.
Yeah.
You know
No.
what I like the in like the neighborhood I like in San Jose, like a Barrio Toya. That's what I like.
Barrio
Oh, yes,
Toya.
teacher. Mhm.
Where is it located?
But like
No, where-
Casa Amarilla and Inns, that area.
Ah, okay,
and
okay.
near to Barrio Escalante, actually.
Near Barrio Escalante.
Mhm.
Near Barrio Escalante.
But it's not
yes.
near Barrio Escalante, it's like in the other side completely.
Yes, it's,
Yeah, but
it's like in the
it's
back
like
part
5
of the
minutes.
Holiday Inn, right?
That I don't know.
no, that is
Or near
Bayamón.
the inns.
Yeah, but
No,
that's
Bayamón.
The
That's
Asian
like-
tsunami.
a little bit down. Like
Barrio
Mhm.
Escalante, Aranjuez, en Otoya.
yeah, like Aranjuez and Utoya, those are the places I like in San Jose.
Mhm.
San Jose, I like when I'm leaving.
I like those places because they're old. I think that's part of the old city. That neighborhood there.
Yes.
I don't
Also
like Barrio
Bayamón.
Escalante, but- Yeah,
Bayamón too.
I don't know San Jose.
That happened from people from Heredia and people from Cartago.
Yeah.
They never
are
know
like
San Jose.
outside. Yeah.
well, I'm from a completely different place, and I know Cartago, Heredia, and San Jose. So there you.
Yes, but you are a Costa Rican trotter.
Costa Rican what?
Like
Tro-
well, word trotter. It means somebody who travels a lot in the world.
like Karen.
Mhm. Okay.
No,
Right.
yo ojalá.
Let's take attendance. Adriana Arias. I think I
Present.
Adriana Sancho. Alfredo.
Here.
Andre. Sofia just told me. Anthony. Ashley.
Here.
Justin.
Here.
Karen.
Here.
Natasha. Sebastián. Sofía Castro.
Present.
Sofía Méndez.
Here.
Viviana.
Here,
I think
teacher.
oh, there you are. And Jocelyn.
A teacher. Jocelyn is not here.
It's not here.
She was here like 2 weeks ago.
Like
But just for
only
one day.
day.
Yeah.
I like Cartago. Like I used to at the end of the year, every year, before we during like when we when we begin like Christmas vacation. I had a friend in Cartago. I have a friend in Cartago, and I used to take the train from Heredia when I lived in Heredia, all the way to Cartago. So that was pretty. That was like before so that I knew that I was on break. So it would be just I will leave in the morning, and I will get like something to eat. Like, well, I was going to train, and
Of all
then
the places
going to San Jose, and then Cartago, and then I will be in Cartago City, and it was like a really nice trip. I don't know.
Yes, teacher. It could be a really nice trip from Heredia to Cartago.
I like going on train because I'm a bit of a a
It's a
romantic
legend
person from
recited
the
around
past. I don't know.
campfires
I don't.
Sophie, do you Have you ever taken the train from Heredia to Cartago?
No, because it's far from where I live. And to take the train, I have to go then and take the train. So it's a mess.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, that was I don't know, like there's a few spots in Costa Rica that I can see like how the cities looked 50 years ago, and it's wonderful
Yeah.
because the cities nowadays they look like garbage. Sorry, they
Do you
look
know
Yeah.
any city in Heredia?
what?
Uh, okay, do you remember a city from Heredia? Uh, as you were telling. Well, I don't know how can I
Like
say it. I want to say if you know a city from Heredia, or if you I
I
I
lived
don't know
I
how to
lived in
say it.
I lived in Heredia, so I
Yeah,
don't
yeah, I know,
live
I know,
live
but
by Pedro. That's where I lived, and I lived in like Molinos, like close to there, and like Mercedes North, like that area. Barrio
uh-huh.
Corazón de Jesús, like so I lived in a few places in Heredia.
No, pero a lo que me refería, sorry,
No
teacher, it is
Spanish.
because okay, I don't know how to explain it. Okay, you just have explained something that there are a few places in Costa Rica that you know.
That I can see
How,
how the cities were in the past.
yes, is there any city in Heredia?
Well, Heredia City. That's fun city in Heredia.
Okay.
No, okay. Well, I'm joking. So, well, yeah. I mean, like I used to walk around a lot, so I see a lot of old houses, and like I follow a page on Instagram that shows like old pictures from Costa Rica, and I see a little different cities and stuff. So, you know.
Okay.
So yeah. So I know, like, I don't know.
Huh?
So it's like really weird that people like go
Gracias a
outside the
Dios, sí.
country to see beautiful cities when we had beautiful cities here, but they make them parking parking lots. It's really
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's my complaint for tonight. Okay, so we're going to begin, guys. Can you hear this? Listen.
The tsunami may have lasted only a couple of hours, but it
Yes.
will not.
Yes? Okay. So again, I'm going to mute everybody. Please take notes if you have any like questions that you want to like double check through the video, have them ready. And all right, any questions?
Teacher, this video is different from the one that you sent us.
No, it's the same one.
Teacher, he has another, another, what suit?
Does he?
Yes.
Maybe it's in a different second.
It's the same.
Let me check. But it should be the same video because I watched them both before when I
I
said
know. Yes. Karen is right. Yes.
La camisa se le manchó.
oh, you're right. But they're the same. They have the same information. So
Teacher, and he looks younger on your
Yeah.
video, teacher.
well, they're
Yes.
the same. They're the same
Even the,
video.
even the tie is different.
Yeah, well, they're the same video. All right.
Are
Anyway,
you sure?
but that's a good catch, Karen. That's
Seems
very-
like 60 minutes are recycling content.
probably.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So guys, I'm going to mute everybody. Any questions before we begin?
No.
All right, so here we go. So muted everybody now. Please take notes. And here we go.
Teacher, I can hear.
Yes, teacher is playing, but we cannot hear anything.
Teacher is
We
lost.
cannot hear anything.
Teacher,
I do
where
a
are
trick.
you?
The sea gypsies of the Andaman.
I do a trick that I use because it's a laptop, so I kind of like close it in order to create like an echo chamber. So because I don't know what's happening.
Excuses.
Last year I used to just like choose a thing here and it will go straight to your computer, but it doesn't work all the time. So it's a so all right. But anyway, sorry about it's. I don't know what's happening. You make me all goofy, more than usual. All right. Okay, so now for real. So 1, 2, 3.
The tsunami may have lasted only
Of
a
all the
couple
places
of
in the
hours,
world
but
60
it will
Minutes
not
has
go
visited,
away.
and all the
New
peoples we've met,
casualties are
few
still being
surprised.
discovered. Thais, Swedes, Sri Lankans, Indonesians. The death toll has topped 175,000, and there's more than 125,000 still missing and presumed dead. But there's one group who lived precisely where the tsunami hit hardest, who suffered no casualties at all. They are the sea gypsies of the Andaman Sea, or themselves, the Moken. They've lived for hundreds of years on the islands off the coast of Thailand and Burma. They are, of all the peoples of the world, among the least touched by modern civilization. And miraculously, they survived the tsunami because they knew it was coming. It's their intimacy with the sea that saved them. They're born on the sea, live on the sea, die on the sea. They know its moods and motion better than any marine biologist. They're nomads, constantly moving from island to island, living more than 6 months a year on their boats. At low tide, they collect sea cucumbers and catch eels. At high tide, they dive for shellfish. And they've been living this way for so many generations, they've become virtually amphibious. Kids learn to swim before they can walk. Underwater, they can see twice as clearly as the rest of us, and by lowering their heart rate, can stay underwater twice as long. They are truly sea urchins. This old man decided he wanted to fish for breakfast. It took him one toss of his spear. It was a puffer fish. If it's not cut properly, it can kill you. The Moken cut it properly. We found this Moken village on an island 2 hours by speedboat from the coast of Thailand. It had become something of an exotic tourist mecca before the tsunami. A Bangkok movie star and amateur photographer named On was here on December 26th, taking pictures of Moken village life when someone noticed the sea receding into the distance. How far?
Like, you see the blue one? The blue water?
Yes.
You see the green water? You didn't see any water.
No kidding.
Yes.
You could walk way out there.
Yes.
On continued taking pictures. They show the Moken on the beach, crying. Did you have any idea why they were crying?
I feel like they know what bad will happen, but I don't know how much bad.
And Owen's pictures show the Moken fleeing towards higher ground long before the first waves struck.
The first water just come like over here.
The water got that high?
Yes.
And that was just the first wave. The worst was yet to come, as the Moken knew because of signs from the sea. It wasn't only the sea that was acting strangely, it was the animals too. On the mainland, elephants started stampeding towards higher ground. Off Thailand's coast, divers noticed dozens of dolphins swimming for deeper water. And on these islands, the cicadas, which are usually so loud, suddenly went silent. And the silence was heard by Saleh Kalatale, that skilled spear fisherman who was on a different part of the island. He ran around, warning everyone. When you told people in the village and said something was wrong, did they believe you?
The young people called me a liar.
I said we've told the story of the waves since the old times, but none of the kids believed me. I grabbed my daughter by the hand and said, "Child, get out of here or you'll die." She said, "You're a liar, Father. You're drunk." I hadn't had a drop to drink.
Saleh brought the skeptics to the water's edge where they too saw the signs. Eventually, everyone, the Moken and the tourists, climbed to higher ground and were saved. But the village itself, there's nothing left. Why do you think the tsunami happened?
The wave is created by the spirit of the sea. The big wave had not eaten anyone for a long time, and it wanted to taste them again.
Do you think that they consider themselves very unlucky because their village was destroyed, or lucky because they survived?
I think they just take it as a matter of fact.
Dr. Nariman Hinshiranan is an anthropologist, one of the very few who speaks the Moken language. Tell me, what is it in your mind that permitted the Moken to know that the tsunami was coming?
Water receded very fast, and one small wave came. So they recognized that this is not ordinary. And then they have this kind of legend that passed from generations to generations about 7 waves.
It's a legend recited around campfires bearing an astonishing resemblance to what actually happened on December 26th. They call it the Laboon, the wave that eats people, and it's brought on by the angry spirits of the ancestors. Before it comes, the sea recedes. Then the waters flood the earth, destroy it, and make it clean again. So basically the tsunami myth is that the world is reborn after it is covered with water.
Yes.
So we're back to the biblical flood.
Yes.
French anthropologist Jacques Ivanov is the world's foremost authority on the Moken and has been living with them on and off for more than 20 years. Joined him on a voyage of discovery. Going to the Moken Islands off the coast of Burma, a military dictatorship closed to the outside world. There had been no news of what had happened to these Moken since the tsunami. We knew that the Moken survived the tsunami, the Moken in Thailand survived. We really don't know for sure what happened in Burma, do we?
Nobody can know because no information get out of Burma. Everybody has to say nothing happened. That means the tsunami stopped at the border and that's it, finish, end of the story.
Ivanov's boat, a converted cargo ship called the Moken Queen, could have sailed right off the pages of Joseph Conrad. The captain was called Long Ear, the crew all Burmese. The deck shrouded in nets to protect us from malarial mosquitoes. All sense of time of the 21st century seemed to evaporate into the tropical night air as we probed further and further into what often seemed to be the heart of darkness. It's really difficult to get more remote than this, isn't it?
That's the best part of the story. You are outside of everywhere. You are nowhere, in fact.
And at dawn, 2 Moken boats came out of nowhere. They invited us down. The Moken on the 2 boats hadn't seen each other since the tsunami and started exchanging tales of survival. While the Moken off Thailand had been on dry ground, these Moken in Burmese waters had been in their boats at sea.
The water had such unbelievable strength. It was swirling like a whirlpool, as if it was boiling and coming from the depths of the earth.
Like their Thai cousins, these Moken also knew what to do. Since they were at sea, they made for deeper water and were spared. Others, like some Burmese fishermen near them, were not. When you can, I want to ask you a question, which is, how come he knew something was wrong and the Burmese fishermen did not? They weren't Burmese businessmen, they were fishermen. They should know the sea too.
They were collecting squid. They were not looking at anything. They saw nothing. They looked at nothing. They don't know how to look. Suddenly, everything rose up. Their boats were thrown up in the air. The violence was unbelievable.
When we got to shore, we talked to a family of Moken living on their boat on the beach. But during the tsunami, they'd also been at sea. We started by introducing ourselves. Unyeni. My name is Bob.
Bob. Bob. Bob. Bob.
Bob. Bob. We come here to find out whether or not these people had survived the tsunami. We wound up captivated by their culture. Never seen anything like it. How old is this gentleman?
Yamanani. Unyeni tumtakon. Ayun. He doesn't know.
Why? I mean, everyone we ask how old they are, the answer is the same. They don't know. How do you explain that?
Time is it's not the same concept as we have. You can say, for instance, when it's does not exist in Moken language.
When doesn't exist. The
No.
word, the question when doesn't exist. And Ivanov says when is not the only word missing from the Moken language. Want.
Yes, that's you use it very often. Take that out of your language and you see how often you use I want this, I want that.
There's no word for want.
No, there is a word for take. You take something, you give or you take. You don't want.
The fact is, the Moken want very little. What they don't want is to accumulate anything. Baggage is not good for a nomadic people. Ties you down. They have no notion and no desire for wealth. Remember Sally, the spear fisherman? That was breakfast. He'll think about lunch later on. Okay, there's no word for when, there's no word for want. Anything else that we be?
No goodbye, no hello.
No goodbye or hello.
Right. That's quite difficult, you know. Imagine after 1 year you live with them and then you go. That's it, finished.
No greetings. While we were on a Thai Moken island, a flotilla from Burma dropped by. They didn't seem terribly excited by this. Visits from relatives, and they're all relatives, happen all the time. And since there's no notion of time, it doesn't matter if the last visit was a week ago or 5 years ago. There's just a constant commingling. And in the wake of the tsunami, they're all busy now, rebuilding their boats and their lives.
And what I saw since the tsunami is, yes, they take this opportunity, you know, to make the strong group stronger, for instance. No? Not young. That's about how I pick the ball. You are sitting on this boat.
Is it okay with him?
No problem with this.
But he thought he should point it out, or he wanted to use the boat?
No, I want to work a little bit on the boat.
But he doesn't mind waiting?
Of course not.
You sure it's not a problem?
I'm sure.
But the Moken do have problems. The Burmese have turned some of their islands into military bases. The Thais are having them make trinkets for tourists, a trend which could ultimately threaten their way of life far more than any number of tsunamis. But the Moken don't seem terribly worried by all this. Perhaps that's because worry is just one more of those words which doesn't exist in their language.
So, how do you feel watching this video again after?
Better, teacher. It was easier to understand.
Yes.
Do you feel more like more confident that you understand?
Yeah.
Rather than just repeating? Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. So now the second video. Okay. So we're going to watch it on the other website.
The second video is for the question 10.
Well, not quite. It's for well, yes and no. It's for like the last part of like the last 2 bits of information from the outline and the question.
Okay.
So even though it's like 1 or 2 questions, there's a lot of information in the video and a lot to talk about.
Teacher, remember the part of the pollution that I spoke yesterday?
I was, actually I was trying to look for the part that they mentioned like the flood, not like the biblical flood, but like the flood from the Moken. I forgot to I forgot to do my part. Anyway,
Sure, in the real program, all the
Mhm.
60 minutes are about the Moken.
no, it just 60 Minutes is like a show that that has different like reports of different things.
Ah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
Like,
Caso
Yeah, it
Cerrado.
is
They
because
show different
well,
cases.
like Rex, right?
yeah, it is
So
because
Yes.
I thought they are dedicating each episode for the same for a different topic. For example, for
yeah,
Tuesday, okay, all the 60 minutes are for Rex, and Wednesday all the 60 minutes are for the Moken. I
I
don't know.
think I never seen like I don't remember watching like a full episode, but I'm
Ah,
pretty
okay.
sure like they could have like a special one. There's just one topic, but usually they have different topics in one episode.
Okay.
Sure, early this morning I was trying to find this video about the sea gypsies,
Hmm.
and I found some others
Yeah.
similar, yeah,
Mhm.
from 60 minutes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Maybe they have done like a lot of follow up videos about it.
They made an special because they were the only ones that survived the tsunami.
The Moken.
Yes,
Mm, yeah,
maybe.
but yeah. All right. Okay, so ready for the second video, guys?
Yes.
Right. Okay, can you hear this? Listen.
The Asian tsunami of 2004.
The Asian tsunami of 2004
All right. So
devastated the countries around
again,
the
I'm going
Indian
to mute
Ocean.
everybody right now. So all right. So here we go. 1, 2, 3.
The Asian tsunami of 2004 devastated the countries
The Asian
around the Indian
tsunami of
Ocean.
2004
A quarter of a million
devastated
people
the
died,
countries around
and
the
nearly
Indian
2
Ocean.
million were displaced
A quarter of a
as the
million
ocean
people
swallowed
died,
up their
and
homes
nearly 2 million
and their
were
livelihoods.
displaced as the ocean swallowed up
But
their
one group
homes
survived
and their
relatively
livelihoods.
unscathed. The Moken,
But one
or sea
group
nomads
survived
that live along the
relatively
Andaman
unscathed.
coast.
The
They even
Moken,
have
or sea nomads
the
that
oral
live along the
history
Andaman
about
coast.
tsunami that
They
saved
even
them
have
from tsunami
the oral
because they
history
know the
about
signal, they know the warning in
that
the
saved
sea.
them, from tsunami because they know the signal. They
The
know
next
the warning
decade
in the sea.
would be a much greater test, however, as the people who once ruled the coastlines of Myanmar, Thailand and Malaysia were forced off their land and out of their homes.
Today they have become really marginalized, and even though they've been here before the other groups or used marine resources before, the rights, the land rights and then the natural resource, the use rights are not there.
The islands of Kok Saren are an untouched paradise. Crystal blue waters, soft golden sand, and home to Salama Klatele and the last true Moken community. Now over 70, he wants to pass on the traditions of the Moken sea nomads to a younger generation. But the Moken community has changed over his lifetime. Originally from southern China, the Moken are thought to have migrated to the islands off the Andaman coast 4,000 years ago. Their culture emphasizes living in harmony with the sea and careful management of its resources. They lived on boats called kabang and historically shunned material possessions. But fishing, the foundation of their culture and livelihood, is now forbidden. The Department of National Parks have made the islands an environmental reservation. All fishing is banned. Good news for the aquatic environment, but a disaster for the Mokans' only source of livelihood. The 5-kilometer limit is nothing for an engine-driven trawler, but out of reach if you're paddling a wooden canoe. Now they're forced to rely on the kindness of passing trawlers, like this industrial-sized fishing vessel. Sometimes they barter, but often the seamen take pity on the nomads and throw down a few fish, recognizing that these waters used to be theirs. When Salama was younger, the Moken ruled these waters, scattered amongst 800 islands off the coast of Myanmar, Thailand and Malaysia. Now they're confined to one tiny bay on Kop Sarin, under the jurisdiction of Thailand's National Parks Department, who control management of the island as a national park. That has meant big changes to their traditional lifestyle.
เขามาจากต้นก็ไม่ได้นี่ก็มาใส่บ้านเขานะนี่ใส่บ้านหลานแล้วแต่ทำไมก็ไม่ได้มันจะยึดผมวันไหนก็ไม่รู้
Their nomadic traditions meant that during the dry season they'd travel to different floating communities up and down the coast. In the monsoon, they'd tie their boats together and shelter on one of the islands. But that has all changed. Many of the traditional boats were lost in the tsunami, and their fleet was never rebuilt. This was the last Moken boat ever to be built over 10 years ago. Now the Parks Department has banned the cutting of timber, making boat building impossible.
ทำไมก็ย้ายอย่างนั้นมาแกย้ายอย่างนั้นนี่วันหลังก็มาก็ด้วยวันหลังนะอย่างซื้อไปว่าตำรวจมากินได้ไหมก็ว่าเขาไม่ตัดเรือเขาจะจ้างให้เราก็ทำไม่ได้ไม่ตัดไม่ได้
The only way the Moken community can survive is by selling trinkets and handicrafts to passing tourists.
นี่วันหน้าคนนี้ว่าผมขอตังค์ไม่เคยขอเขาหรอกเขารู้จักเอาไม้ผมเขารู้จักให้วันหลังรู้จักผมเขาให้เปล่ายืมนะเอ้าตัวเล็กได้แล้วทำไม
But tourism has shown little kindness to the indigenous nomadic communities on Thailand's west coast. Tourism has boomed here over the past 2 decades. Phuket and the Andaman coastline welcome more than 20 million visitors a year. The tourist industry is a vital part of the Thai economy. But the resorts and businesses that cater to the tourists' needs have little interest in the indigenous people of the coast or their way of life. Jin and his wife Yon, who belong to the Arak Lawoi tribe, are still able to eke out a living from crab fishing. They long since abandoned the nomadic life for a small hut on the coast of Krabi, and their community has shrunk as the younger generation went to work in the tourist business. The crab pots don't give them much, but it does allow them to live on the sea. Their dwindling community is one that Dr. Narimon, an anthropologist from Bangkok, has spent decades studying, and she's seen the impact tourism has had on the locals.
Of course, indigenous people, when they want to fish, when they want to moor their boat, the activities are limited by tour companies and resorts and hotels.
The village belongs to the Arak Lawoi, a different group from the Moken, but one which shares their nomadic traditions. Although they're more integrated into life on the mainland, getting by is hard and poverty widespread. And there are other ways in which they've been hit by the booming tourist trade.
They were mobile in the past. We can say that they have the roots in the whole Andaman Sea, coastal area and islands. So I think the the critical problem for them is land right. And I think the second one is the right to make a livelihood along the coastal area and the marine shore.
Ironically, for a people with a nomadic tradition, the greatest threat to the Sea Gypsy communities is having what little land they have taken away. Much of the coastal land is prized real estate, worth hundreds of millions of dollars, and the property developers have little interest in protecting native communities. In the years since the tsunami, land rights have been trampled in the rush to rebuild and expand. This community of Chowley Sea Gypsies on Rawai Beach in Phuket found themselves under attack earlier this year when a group of 100 men tried to close off the access road to their land and their ancestral burial grounds.
27 ตอนเช้านี่ก็คือเขาก็เริ่มมีกลุ่มชายชะกันแล้วก็นำรถแมคโครรถหกล้อมาบอกถ้าชาวบ้านขัดขวางก็จะตีซึ่งชาวบ้านก็โดนตีไปหลายคนเท่านั้นนะครับบาดเจ็บไปหลายคน
Several villagers were hospitalized, although the identity of their attackers remained concealed.
ชาวบ้านก็ไม่รู้จักว่ามาจากไหนนะครับอาจจะเป็นกลุ่มที่กลุ่มทุนอาจจะพามาเองอันนี้เราก็ไม่รู้จัก
After several hours, the army arrived to break up the clashes and the intruders were dispersed. But the villagers know it's only a temporary reprieve. The property developers are well connected, and they can afford to drag the fight through the courts for years. The Sea Gypsies are trying to fight back and ensure their culture survives. This is the 6th annual Sea People Summit, a festival to celebrate the customs and traditions of the nomads. There are young faces in the crowd, but not many. Most have gone to the big towns and cities.
I mean, the young generations, they don't have knowledge, and that's why they don't really appreciate what they have.
The dances and rituals are some of the last remnants of a culture that dominated the Andaman coast, but also knew how to manage it as a sustainable resource. Now, aside from tourism, many areas here are overfished and polluted.
In their daily life, spiritual component is really significant, and this translates to respect to environment. Scientists may not believe that there are spirits, and they might think that this is not important. But I think if we look at it as respecting environment, sustainable development, that is it. That is the word.
The one group that isn't represented is the Moken community from Surin, probably the last remaining true sea nomads. Traditionally, the Moken have shied away from modern technology and integration, perhaps in the hope their isolation would preserve their way of life. But the modern world has caught up, and the future is bleak.
ปัญหาเยอะแต่ว่าจะขอป่าไม้ก็ป่าไม้ไม่ให้ทำเราอยากจะอยู่แบบนี้เลยชีวิตเดิมเวลาเอาต้องลำแข็งกันไหมคือหยาบๆแล้วก็ตั้งที่เรา
The Andaman coast is a place of unique beauty that attracts millions of visitors every year. But the presence of the indigenous people who thrived here for centuries has all but been washed away.
Okay, guys. So what do you think?
I don't know, teacher. The same that we thought the other day. That is so sad.
What else?
Guys, what happened? The teacher is talking.
Thank you, Karen.
Well, it's an interesting
Story.
history. His story. Well, I think that is a culture very different because they say they don't have anything. They can't communicate very well with another people. Like, for example, they told about 2 million survive.
Well, do you guys remember the number of how many Moken survived? Did they mention that? I'm not sure.
No, they only say that
They say
almost
2,000
everyone.
in
Also, the
Everyone.
Moken survived.
Yes.
in the first
I don't remember.
history about the 2,000 devices, the countries around Iran, 2 million survive. I
I
wrote
don't
that.
think they were even a million, maybe. But in Thailand, everything is huge. Or in maybe I think India and Asia, they are very very populated places. Maybe they can be 2,000,000, 2,000 Moken.
2 million, I don't know.
2,000
So
Moken.
why do you think people are so fascinated by the Moken? Like
Because
people, Karen?
Teacher, I think that
devastated the
because
countries
of their
around the Indian
history,
Ocean.
because they
A
are,
quarter of a million people died.
I don't want to say that they are strange people. They are different from the most of the people around the world. Their language, that is the Moken language, they can only communicate with each other, just the Moken.
Well, that's a good point.
The way of life of them.
And that
Nearly 2 million were displaced.
something that are interesting is the ones that Ivanov studied, right? And I think that we as a tourist, we have to appreciate this kind of videos. And as I
Displaced as the
said
ocean
the other
swallowed up
day,
their home.
I see this beautiful places and this clear water, and I want to be there. But that's the thing that they don't want, or they just can survive by selling their trinkets and handicrafts. And so if one day we can visit this place, we have to help them and buy their things, or I don't know, or avoid to go there.
Avoiding going there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Adriana, what do you like about their culture? What do you think it's interesting about their culture that you mentioned?
The culture of how they live around this during these years.
Do you find that interesting, Adriana?
Yes, it's a little bit strange. It's out of common because you are not able to see under the water because today we have almenecloro in the water. And I don't know if you try it, but if you see under the water, if you are in the sea, the salt make your eyes chill.
Hurt
Your eyes. And I don't understand how they can see under the sea, and they don't get they don't hurt his eyes.
Their eyes.
Their eyes.
Yes, Viviana.
Teacher, the video say a quarter of a million people died and nearly a million were displaced.
Okay.
I wrote
It's all right.
that.
Don't worry. What's important is that you're trying to take notes and listen. That's what matters. That's the.
Okay.
And so yeah. Any other comments or thoughts, guys? Fresh from the video.
I like the way that they live because now we try to accumulate goods or things or money or belongs, and they belongs. I'm not
Belongings.
or belongs
Belonging.
Belongings.
belongings,
Hmm.
and they live day by day. For me, that's a very nice way to live. I'm not sure if I can live that way. Maybe
You could. There's
for
a few.
any of us.
There's a
No,
few things
we
that you could adopt from that way of life. It's not. You don't have to go to that extreme, but you can if you feel that you can copy something like that because they will. You can try it, like buying less things. You know, just things like that.
Yes,
this
only
this guy
buying
said
things that you need.
he said something interesting. I think that it was Ivanov when because he went there to live with a Moken, right?
Hmm.
And when a year has passed, you feel comfortable, not saying hello, not saying goodbye. It's part of of your daily life.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, you know, we as humans, we can adapt. We can go to other cultures and adapt to those cultures because
Uh-huh.
that's how we're that's how we work. You know, like I don't know. It's interesting. Like a lot of people, like who, for example, from my experience, who go to the U.S. to live, and they say they miss Costa Rican food, but like I didn't miss it. I just ate whatever was available, and then we ate Costa Rican food because we found like a place that sold ingredients and stuff to make. But because you hear a lot of people, if I were to go to Japan or something, like their cuisine is very different. I would just
Mhm.
eat whatever it's there. So I don't know. So I think we're very adaptable. So
Yes.
like Jax Ivanov, like he went there for a year and then, he came. He probably knew the culture a bit, but then it's like wanting, needing, you know, age, time, you just forget it and
Mhm, mhm.
live like that. I don't know.
Yes, it's like the people who travel only with a backpack and a few money, and they
A
they
little
arrive
money.
to a little money, and
Hmm.
they arrive to beautiful places, and maybe they can work in restaurants and spend their nights in a small hostel or something like that. But when I travel, I like to go with money and with a lot of like things that make your travel easy, like hotel reservations, rent a car that is rented, and money for buy food in every place you want, and buy the things that you need, buy clothes. And I don't like to travel like short of money. I don't know if that
But
expression exists.
but you said at the beginning you like how like backpackers travel.
No,
So
I don't know how. I don't.
How
That's those are like the modern Mokins,
I don't
because
know.
they
That's
travel with only with a few things.
I don't know. I wouldn't call them Moken because they have a
No,
culture, a history, you know, rules.
no, they
A
are not.
backpacker.
They are no Mokins. They are. How do you say chancletas in English?
What do we say about Spanish?
Sorry,
This is
they
like
are.
now you
They
have
are.
to go. Now you have to confess.
Alfred, you are
Sorry,
one of
teacher.
those people. Alfred, because you become from
I'm
UCR.
from. I'm
Oh,
from the
oh,
UC, from. I'm
you're
from Dado University, but I went to the business for I went to the business school, so I'm not
you're
that
cool.
school.
You're
That
cool.
school
Different.
belongs. No, that school belongs to social science, but it's different because I studied accounting, and in the building there were people with a lot of money, and they were studying economy and business administration and statistics, and that's a different word.
So basically, you're saying you're cooler than the rest.
No, I'm different. I'm different. Not cooler. I'm different.
Okay. All right. Okay, guys. Okay. So, all right. So on Tuesday, I guess for your new teacher, you will talk about it again.
Hi, teacher. Today is our last day with you, right?
I think so. Yeah.
After like 3 months, you're gonna leave us, teacher.
Going to.
You're
God,
going to leave us.
I just got Sophia to stop saying gonna. Now you're saying it.
Sorry.
Why?
Okay. All right. What, Adriana?
If we like, we can say gonna, no?
Well, but not in class. It's
Why?
okay.
Too informal.
It's perfectly fine, but it's informal, so you have to be careful. And it's correct. So but we're learning like formal
Proper English.
Yeah, it's like if you're going to talk to like I don't know, like Barack Obama or somebody. I don't know.
But I don't think that Barack Obama feels uncomfortable if you say, hey, I'm gonna go with you.
Well, yeah, you're right.
Yes.
But I almost tricked you, but you're right.
Maybe
He has the flow. He understands that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You. I'm not going to argue with that because it's true. All right. Okay. All right. So moving on, guys. So we're going to continue with comparisons. Okay. So comparatives and superlatives. Okay. So comparing two things, we have to have an ER and then. So always together. So for example, bigger, smaller, faster, slower, slower than, faster than, bigger than. So let's read this example. Adriana, the brown house.
The brown house is smaller than the white house.
Any questions there, guys?
No.
Teacher, yes, it's about this picture. All is about this picture.
What do you mean, Viviana?
About the house.
No, this is just
house.
an example.
Okay.
And yeah, keep in mind, guys, these are for short words. So words, so the ER is for words with one sound, a syllable.
Words with sound.
One sound.
I did it with
Big.
sound.
So like one sound, like big, small. So well, small is two sounds. So with one or two sounds.
Sure. Ari just made a capital thing.
Who?
Ari.
What did she say?
I did say.
Did she say that?
Yes. I
Did you
heard.
say that, Adriana?
No.
No, now I don't believe you, Adriana.
The voice like how do you say sapo?
Froggy.
No, that's not a word, guys. That's not, remember, don't do like Costa Rican words in English. It doesn't work.
Froggy.
No, yeah, don't.
Teacher, is there a slang in United States for people who, well,
Yes.
where is the name?
I don't remember right now.
Oh.
Well, that's better than say froggy. Sorry.
Froggy.
Okay. Remember. Let me see if I can remember before we leave. All right, so Viviana, let's read the second example. So this one, guys, is for the thing that is like the top. The first thing to the rest.
The
So,
no,
go ahead.
teacher.
The yellow house.
Okay, the yellow house is the smallest one.
So this is the same rule, and you must use the. You cannot omit it. So the biggest house, the fastest car, and so on. All right. Questions, guys?
No.
Let's take a picture.
Of what?
Take a picture.
Ready, guys?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. So now these are with long words. So things that have more than two sounds. Like interesting, expensive, and so on. So things like that, more than word. So we use this more than or less than. Okay? All right, Alfredo, let's read these two examples. The White House.
The White House is more expensive than the brown one. The brown house is less expensive than the white one.
Any questions there, guys?
No.
And now again, this is like the top. There's no comparison. So we say the most something or the least something. And again, you must keep the. You cannot omit the. It's part of the deal. Okay? All right, Sofia Mendes, read the examples. The White House is the most
expensive of the three. The yellow house is the least expensive one.
Questions? All right, let's take another picture. Ready, guys?
That is the last, I think.
What again?
I don't know if you are going to give us classes in the next modules.
I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe in the future.
I don't think so.
Maybe not next module, but maybe, later, like module 20, like 30 or 31, down the line. I don't know, to be honest.
Yeah, sure. You can ask for us.
I don't know. Sometimes the supervisors don't like, people asking stuff like that. All right. But anyway, but don't worry. Don't be afraid. The next teacher is going to be cool. And
Do you know who is the next teacher?
That I don't know.
Yes, you know it.
Actually, in the past, we used to know that information, but not anymore.
Why not?
Because, I don't know. They used to have a message board at Intensa, and they show you who the next teacher is going to be for your group. But they don't do that anymore. They send you an email. So, but they send it after tonight's class. But don't worry, it's going to be fine. It's going to be cool. She or he is going to be really awesome.
We hope that.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure. Okay. All right, guys. So we're going to do this application. So we have 3 mountains.
I remember this application.
So yeah, this is a review from that module. So Mount Everest, Mount McKinley, and Mount Chiripo. So so for example, let's do these, and so you get an idea. Okay. So Alfredo over here, Mount Everest.
Mount Everest is higher than Mount McKinley.
Karen?
Mount McKinley is higher than Mount than that what?
Mount
Chirripó. Mount Chirripó.
Adriana Arias, Mount Everest.
Mount Everest is the highest.
Sofia?
Mount Chirripó is lowest.
Sofia Castro?
Mount McKinley is not as high as Mount Everest.
Viviana, the last one.
Okay, the last one. Okay, Mount Chirripó is not the same height as Mount
McKinley.
McKinley.
All right, let's take a picture, guys.
Okay.
Ready?
No. Ready.
Okay. Now, after you do this, like 2 times, just read them. The next few times you cover it up. So you do the comparisons using this grammar. Okay, so let me just, cover it up like this. Let's take another picture. Are you ready, guys?
No. Ready?
Okay. All right. Any questions?
No.
Okay. All right. So let me just set up the groups. Okay. All right. Let's begin.
For example, well, I don't know. We don't have to move. We don't have teacher. No questions, right?
They're not questions. You're
okay.
Applying the grammar.
Okay. Well, let's see. Well, Mount McKinley is higher than Mount Chirripó. However, the Mount Everest is the highest.
Sofia
or
Viviana.
Okay. The mountain Chirripó is
Mount Chirripó.
Mount Chirripó is the smallest.
Is that?
Is the lowest or
Smallest. Slower.
Smallest.
Use that there's no comparison. The smallest.
Or is the smaller than the Everest?
One more time, Adriana. Sorry, Viviana. One more time, Viviana.
Okay, the Mount Chiripo is that smaller than
We
Mount
don't
Everest.
use the with comparisons.
Okay.
Let's just let's
So it's
let's
smaller.
read the examples first, and then you guys make your own. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Mount Chiripo is the lowest.
Sophia.
Mountain McKinley. I don't know. Wait. Mountain McKinley is higher than Mount.
One more time, Sophia. Mount
McKinley is higher than Mount Chiripo.
Okay, another one. Another example. Just read the first time, guys, and then.
Mount Chiripo is not as high as Mount Everest.
Okay. Viviana?
Mount Chiripo is not the same wave as
Mount
McKinley.
Height.
Wave. Height. Height as Mount McKinley.
Okay. Mount Everest is the best mountain in the world, I can say.
One more time, Sophia.
Mount Everest is the best mountain in the world.
Okay. But we're only using altitude here. Only these because we're comparing these numbers.
Okay, but okay. Mountain Everest. Mount Everest is not as high as Mount Chiripo.
One more time, Sophia.
Oh my God, teacher. Teacher, can you pronounce that word?
Mount
Everest is not as high as Mount Chiripo.
Okay, so which is higher, Mount Everest or Chiripo? Which is?
Teacher, okay. I can do it without that. Oh, never mind.
We're comparing like that information.
Well, so Mount Everest is the highest.
Okay. Right.
Teacher, if I say, for example, Mount Chiripo is the lowest or is smaller than all?
If you cannot use smaller than all. This is the smallest.
Yes, right. Smallest.
Of them all.
Than all.
Smaller is when you use ER is when you're comparing two things. But when there's no comparison, S. Okay. One more example, guys. Justin?
Yes, let me think. Well, it is because, teacher, can you hide the examples? It's because I don't want to feel like I'm reading them.
Okay. It's because the first times you have to practice using the examples.
Okay.
Okay.
I won't read them just in case.
Okay.
Well, Mount Chiripo has less meters than Mount McKinley.
Less meters, okay?
Meters than Mount McKinley.
Okay. All right. So now you can use the second picture, guys. Any questions before I leave?
Well, no.
Okay. All right. So, all right. Keep on working. I'll see you in a bit.
Ok. Chiquillos, ¿ustedes no saben de alguna cabaña?
Sí, ¿para dónde?
No sé, algún lugar, ¿qué lugares conoce?
Bastante,
Quizá
no
aquí
sé
en
a dónde
Heredia.
quieres ir. En Heredia hay varias.
Ujú.
En San Isidro de
Pero,
Heredia.
¿conoce el nombre de alguna?
Ahorita te digo, porque yo sí había visto
Pero
una,
para
ya te
varias
digo.
personas, por cualquier cosa. No es para ir a motelear.
Ah, no, no. Vean, había uno, pero creo que se llamaba, yo lo sé, un Booking de Mentoque.
Ah, ¿usted usa Booking? Es que yo
Ujú.
uso Airbnb y no encuentro nada más descargar Booking.
Ah, sí, yo también. También uso
Voy a buscar
cualquiera de esos
Booking
dos.
porque, de hecho, que vacilón, yo no uso eso.
De veras. Ve, hay uno que es Hotel
Ah,
Monte
ese ya lo
Campana,
conozco.
que es como un...
Sí, pero eso es un
Ya lo
motel
conoce.
prácticamente. Bueno,
Ah,
no
¿verdad?
sé, dicen.
Bueno. Hay otro que se llama... Bueno, es como más grande, es diferente, que es Finca
Finca
Paraíso.
Paraíso. Sí,
Sí, Finca Paraíso. Es bonito ese.
suave. Mm, ¿Qué es este internet?
Finca Paraíso Mountain.
Santa Bárbara de Heredia. Es que un compañero, es que un amigo cumpleaños.
Mm,
Ah, sí, solo que esa finca Paraíso. Ah, bueno, suave. Es que me fijé en ese día un hotel todo lujoso.
no, son
No,
como
es que
adentro.
me equivoqué y lo busqué como en Guatemala, digamos. Sí, sí, sí.
Ah, esa cabaña del lago también en Heredia.
Finca Paraíso.
Sí, si quiere
O sea,
anótelos. Finca de
aquí estoy
Paraíso,
viendo, de
cabaña del
hecho,
lago.
uy, mira, este está chida, pero ¿para cuánta gente será? Ah, no, pero esto es para 2 personas.
Ah, pero vos le puedes poner ahí, supongo, de la
Sí,
cantidad.
es que la torta,
Hacienda Mi Linda.
sí, la torta es que somos como 10 personas, entonces ya no sé, fijo.
Ah, sí, pero en esa Hacienda Mi
Hacienda mi
Linda.
linda.
Ujú.
Uy, bueno, suave. Mira, es que vi una casa vista del Conde y esta casa es prácticamente casi por donde vive Sebastián y Adriana. Sí,
Oiga,
esto es todo grande, mira. Ah, pero esto es publicidad engañosa. Aquí están poniendo fotos hasta de ese rodantas y eso es más, y eso es más al fondo. Pero oiga, verás que aquí están poniendo fotos de lugares de todo San Rafael, qué varas de más, ah.
fatal.
Mm, mm.
Recording in
So,
progress.
teacher, we were right, weren't we?
Teacher, you are muted.
Yes, you're right.
Okay. Thank you
Well,
for all the things that I did and wrong.
I didn't say it like that.
Teacher,
Alright.
what's your height? Your height. What's your height?
What?
How tall are you?
What's your
What's your height?
I don't know. Like, it's like I don't know.
Although you don't
How
know
fit
that.
are you?
I'm like 5'7", 5'8", but I don't know what's that in meters.
Okay, let's see. I will.
It's 5 feet 7. Like I don't know with metric. Sorry.
Teacher,
Okay.
It is one meter 52 centimeters.
I guess so.
Yeah.
You're smaller.
What?
You're
I don't-
smaller.
I'm a short guy. Yes, I am. I think. I don't know. I don't really know.
Teacher, you use feet and inches.
Well, in my mind, because I haven't really assimilated the metric system.
Okay.
But anyway, what are you asking me this, Alfredo? This is like really nothing to do with anything.
It's everything to do because we're comparing the height of the things.
I'm not a
For
thing. I'm a
example,
person.
he is taller than you.
No, I used to think that you were a tall man.
Well, sorry to disappoint.
Teacher, if one day you know Sebas,
Okay.
you are going to impress yourself because
Yes.
He's
how
good.
do you think how is he?
I don't.
How tall is he?
Tall or short?
I don't know. Like I have no idea. Like,
Well, I think he's short.
When you see him,
Sebas.
Yeah.
Yes, he's tall.
No.
He's normal.
No,
I don't
he's
know where
tall.
normal
No.
Sebas is as tall as me.
As tall as me, no.
Yes,
And
or maybe
No,
maybe
you
a
are
little
tall
bit
are
big.
you?
Alfred, you are shorter than Sebas.
Maybe a little bit smaller, but we are almost the same.
so
How
Sebas
tall?
is very tall. Is that what you're saying, Karen?
Yes, teacher.
How tall are you, Alfred?
How much do you think?
I don't know. That's why
Okay,
I'm
guys.
asking.
All right. So now we're
Teacher, we are talking about the topic.
Yes,
Yes.
we're talking
yes,
about higher.
but we're not using the grammar. So let's
Okay.
Well, we can
I
use
think-
the grammar with
We
this.
have to focus, guys, because we have other stuff to do. All right. Okay. So here we
Got to
go.
be.
Adriana Arias. Let's compare Mount Everest and Mount Chiripo.
Okay. Mount Chiripo. Mount Chiripo. The Mount Everest is higher than Mount Chiripo.
Okay. Karen, let's compare Mount Chiripo and Mount McKinley.
Okay. Mount McKinley. Mount McKinley is not as low as low, right?
Height.
As low as Mount Chiripo.
All right.
Sorry. Is low.
It's
or-
not as low as Mount Chiripo.
Okay.
Justin, Mount Everest, Mount McKinley, Mount Chiripo.
Okay. Well, and Mount McKinley is higher than Mount Chiripo, but is lower than Mount Everest.
The Mount?
Mount Everest.
Okay. Sophia Mendes. Mount McKinley and Mount Everest.
Mount Everest is higher than.
One more time.
It's it's is let me see. Mount Everest. Okay, no, Mount McKinley is not as tall. It's not as high as Mount Everest.
Okay. No more question. No more with us, guys. So no more of that. Still feel like it's cheating, but whatever. Okay. Viviana, Mount McKinley only.
The Mount McKinley is it's not the same.
We're not using
height.
us.
Teacher. Okay, the Mount McCain is in the middle. I don't know.
Some help.
In the middle of
We're
all.
using height.
Is that?
But I can't use high or small.
Yes, but in the middle is not. It's like here, but there
It's higher than Mount Tirupol.
Okay.
But I can compare. Okay, Mount McKinley is higher than Mount Tirupol, right?
Okay. Sofia Castro, Mount Everest.
Mount Everest is the most higher mountain.
One more time. So high, one word or more words, more sounds.
Most.
Guys, need help, please? So high, one sound or more sounds.
Okay.
One sound.
Mount Everest is the most.
Some help?
The most
higher. Is the most.
The highest.
It's the highest.
Oh my God! Is the most highest.
No,
It's
it's
the
highest.
Is the highest mountain.
Is the highest. Okay. All right. I think more practice with this. Okay.
No.
All right. Okay, guys. Okay, so let's go to let's see, English in Common, and we're going to go to page 38.
Give me a second, please. Can you show the number of the page? Or what's
Page 38.
Page 38.
It's about Troy, teacher.
The good place. It's a different one. Hold on. So page 38, guys.
Page 34 for the
Give a presentation about place. The old days. The good old days.
Teacher, actually yesterday I was in the doubt if Troy already exists, but I realized that no.
What do you mean?
Yesterday I thought that Troy really existed in the real life.
It was a real city.
Really?
Yes.
But I mean, there are no, what happened kind of happened, but not like in the stories.
But it is true that there was a on Troy.
Well, it wasn't just Sparta. It was like different Greek states. I'm not sure about the details, but the city that it existed.
Ah, okay.
But the details maybe not from the stories.
Okay.
Okay. So all right, Justin, let's read here.
Sure. Oh, sorry. This is another page. 40. Okay. Wait, teacher.
Teacher, can you zoom in that page, please?
Page 38, guys.
It is 36 in the.
Yes,
Just
but
in
that,
case. Okay.
the resolution sucks.
Okay. Group work. In what ways do you think things nowadays are the same as or different from 20 years ago? Think about food, clothes, music, etc. Discuss.
You can have everything in your phone, or you can even work in your phone. And with the technology, we don't have to go to work at the office. We can work even in the beach,
At?
even at the beach or at your house. And if you are a music lover, now you only have to download and pay a monthly fee for use an app. But in the past, you have to buy CDs or even MP3 players. I'm not sure if 20 years.
Yes,
No, 20 years ago, we used to have Discman.
Yeah, but we used to have MP3 players too.
Really?
Yeah. How old are you, Alfredo?
I'm almost 30.
How can you not remember? Don't you remember like LimeWire and Kazaa and Morpheus and all those things to download music?
Oh, I used
I was 10 years old.
LimeWire.
LimeWire, yeah.
No, but there were MP3 players, Alfredo.
Okay.
I think the first iPod came out. The first iPod was 2002 or 2000. I don't remember, something 2001 maybe. So how are things the same nowadays, guys?
Sure, I think that the same mainly on clothes.
Clothes.
Yes, because
actually, it's not that the same. It's that fashion came back.
Exactly. That's what I wanted to say. Because some clothes that are on trend right now.
Some trendy clothes.
Some trendy clothes. Okay, some trendy clothes looks like 90s or 80s, where we use jeans on our
I'm not sure, but how can we say higher jeans? Like not at the I now the jeans get almost your belly, right?
Up to your like high rise.
Yeah,
high rise.
exactly, high rise.
Well,
Thank you, teacher.
But that's more like, because remember, Karen, you're kind of my age. Remember, like back then, girls used to have really low jeans, actually, under
When, teacher?
Like in 2001, the girls used to wear
Yeah, in 2000, but 80s and 90s.
Yeah, it was. But actually, remember, like in the 90s, like girls used to like expose their bellies a lot, and they have. Remember that? No.
But
teacher,
actually,
it was not teacher. It was at the beginning of 2000.
Okay, but I remember the 90s, late 90s.
Was the women expose their bellies because they have the pants or the jeans to the wrist.
Yeah. So yeah, it's very similar.
very
that's
comfortable.
hmm yeah. So yeah, so that stuff is the same. How about food? Food 20 years ago and food now.
It
The
depends,
same.
teacher. It depends. Fancy food or fancy food always on I don't know how to say that, if on transition or are um, I don't know, teacher.
Well, I think it's very different because back
Because
20 years ago, no one ate ramen, and everybody now is eating ramen for some reason.
It's
And,
because
and like,
the
and like
anime became some
I
popular
know
popular.
that's what I was
has
doing.
has
Yeah,
have
like
become have become popular
yeah,
in
like
this
when
year.
I watched anime like 20 years ago, I had to hide it because it wasn't
Uh,
cool. And
yeah,
now everybody cool is watching anime,
I
even
know, teacher, because
really weird.
when I was 13, I watched a lot of anime, and I had to hide it as well.
Yeah, like video games, like I play video
Yeah,
games and watch anime and stuff, but you have to keep it like secret because
I remember that if you played a lot of games, they tell you like freaky or yeah.
yeah.
But now I don't. Well, I don't care, but it's okay.
Teacher, and I think that in the case of food, it's because right now the people have the opportunity um
travel.
to travel, yeah, to travel, and they can taste some other foods from other cultures, and they came with this food here. They, I don't know, they built some restaurants with this, I don't know, with uh fusion cuisine and
Fusion.
fusion cuisine,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. Okay. So now we're going to read this excerpt. All right. So you're going to read it and you're going to try to answer these questions. So read the text first and answer this question. Okay. All right. Let's take a picture if you don't have this text.
Give me that.
And 20 years ago, never and anyone try had ever taste sushi. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think there was sushi here in Costa Rica. Well, I
20
didn't live
years
here.
ago.
I didn't live here, so I don't know. But I think, I think it was there, but I don't know. I didn't live here.
I'm not sure.
Okay. All right. Do you take this picture, guys?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So we're going to read it first and then answer that question. Okay. Because,
Thank you.
all right. So let's begin.
Okay, and let's see. Who wants to start reading? Well, I can if you want. And let's see.
Okay.
Ish, the quality is very bad. Okay, can we escape the uniformity of globalization? Is every city in the world doomed to be the same? And why does it feel like English is dominated in other languages? Mark Wright reports on international travel today and longs for the good old days. I travel often for my job. One month I'm in Asia, another in Latin America, sometimes Europe, but it almost doesn't matter where I go anymore. I see the same Starbucks at the airport in Tokyo, Lima, and Munich as I do back home in New York. My company always puts me up in a practically identical Hilton no matter where I travel. Even on TV, you can't escape the same popular American shows like House or 24. Each city I travel to, I'm annoyed by retail and restaurant chains like McDonald's polluting the authentic feel of the city. I hear the same ringtones no matter where I go. Everyone carries the same iPhones, listen to the same music. Why do we strive for uniformity? I miss the days when I discovered new cultures and different ways of life when traveling abroad. I also miss communication in foreign languages. Now I use my broken Spanish or try some Japanese phrases. People generally answer me in English. International travel was a whole other experience 20 years ago. Well, okay.
Okay. The good old days. Can we escape the uniformity of globalization? Is every city in the world doomed to be the same? And why does it feel like English is dominating other languages? Mark Reid reports on international travel today and longs for the good old days. I travel often for my job. One month I'm in Asia, another in Latin America, sometimes Europe. But it almost doesn't matter where I go anymore. I see the same Starbucks at the airport in Tokyo, Lima, and Monaco as I do back home in New York. My company always puts me up in a practically identical Hilton, no matter where I travel. Even on TV, you can't escape the same popular American shows like House or 24. Each city I travel to, I am announced by retail and restaurant chains like McDonald's, pollution, the authentic feel of the city. I hear the same ringtones no matter where I go. Everyone carries the same iPhones, listen to the same music. Why do we strive for uniformity? I miss the days when I discovered the new cultures and different ways of life. When traveling abroad, I also miss communicating in foreign language. Now, when I use my broken Spanish or try some Japanese phrase, people generally answer me in English. International travel was a whole other experience
Okay.
20 years ago.
And well, it's your turn, Sophie.
Okay. Okay. Can we escape the uniformity of globalization? Is every city in the world doomed to be the same? And why does it feel like English is dominating other languages? Mark Wright, I don't know how to pronounce that, reports on international travel today and longs for the good old days. I travel often for my job. One month I am in Asia, another in Latin America, sometimes Europe. It almost doesn't matter where I go anymore. I see the same Starbucks at the airport in Tokyo, Lima, and Munich as I do back home in New York. My company always puts me in a practically identical Hilton no matter where I travel. Even on TV, you can escape the same popular American shows like House or 24. Each city I travel to, I am annoyed by retail and restaurant chains like McDonald's, pollution. I don't know how to pronounce that. The authentic feel of the city. I hear the same ringtones no matter where I go. Everyone carries the same iPhones, listens to the same music. Why do we strive for uniformity? I miss the days when I discovered new cultures and different ways of life. When traveling abroad, I also miss communicating in foreign languages. Now I use my broken Spanish or try some Japanese phrases. People generally answer me in English. International travel was a whole other experience 20 years ago. My God. Mm. And we have to answer that question.
Okay. Wait a second.
Recording in progress.
Okay. So did the author talk about some of the stuff we talked about?
What offer?
Guys?
Yes, teacher. Yes, he
Oh,
did.
yes.
What kind of things did he talk about that we talked
Like the
about?
food. Maybe I'm not sure that we talked about food and the way that he wrote that, but that's 100% sure and true, because if you travel to if you're here, I have like 2 McDonald's near my house or 3, and if you are in another country,
In another country?
if you are in another country, you will find the same McDonald's only with different combos.
Well, I've never gone to another country before, but Karen, I know you are a traveler. Are you agree with him?
¡Qué necio que son! ¡Qué necios que son! Teacher, he said something interesting, because he said that wherever we go, we always see an M polluting the city, and is the McDonald's M, and that's the same history with all of the
Same story?
same story with all the commercials or stores around the world. Actually, in the morning, I was thinking that what happened in the world if there is any ad on any city,
There is what?
any ad, or like I don't know if it is an ad, like this the M t-shirt, the McDonald's M, these signals, I don't know.
How? But I don't understand.
Teacher, what is an ad?
An ad?
Uh-huh.
An advertisement?
Yeah, advertisement. Yeah,
So
this
it's like
kind of car.
like the sign, like a McDonald's or like Starbucks sign.
Yeah, that kind of signs.
What would happen?
Yeah, the city could be better or beautiful.
Yeah. Well, okay, keep that in mind, guys, because now we're going to do part 2 of this. Okay. So, but first attendance. All right. Adriana Arias.
But teacher, no.
Adriana Arias.
Yes.
Adriana Sancho. Alfredo.
Here.
Andre. Anthony. Ashley. Justin.
Here.
Karen.
Here.
Natasha. Sebastián. Sofía Castro.
Teacher, yeah.
Sofía Castro. Wait, is Sofía Castro here?
Yes.
Oh. Ok, Okay, Sofia Mendez,
Here.
Viviana, and Jocelyn.
Yes, teacher.
Where the teacher was taking attendance.
I know what is he thinking, and that is
So bored.
and that's the reason of his smile.
I smile because you find it annoying that I keep asking, calling her name, and obviously she's not here.
No, but the way you were taking attendance.
What's so wrong about that, Sofia?
Not so wrong.
You're making fun of the way I do it.
Like
How-
the way you did it. I mean, yeah,
What's-
because you never take attendance that way. But yeah, whatever.
Well, there's always a first time for everything, Sofia. Okay, so now we're going to do this, guys. Some of you, so everybody look at the screen, please. So some of you are going to go to page 139 and the others are going to go to page 140. Okay? And you're going to read another text and answer these questions. Okay? So far so good, guys?
So far, so good.
Guys, I hear a little bit of background noise, so please mind that. Okay. So, let's see. All right, Diana Arias and Alfredo are going to go to page 139.
Page 29.
139.
Why 139?
I'll explain in a second. So let's go to page 139. So Adriana and Alfredo, okay? Ashley, Karen, and Sophia, you're going to go to 140.
Okay.
And again, and Justin, Sofia Castro, and Viviana to 139. Okay? All right.
Fine.
Okay, so what are you going to do? Actually, let me move somebody from one group. So I'm going
No, teacher.
I'm going to move, so let's see.
Well,
No.
Don't do that on your last day, teacher.
You're so manipulative. You manipulate me very well. Okay.
These are the last.
do whatever you want, teacher. Is your
I
class.
cannot do that. I have to give a good class even if it's the last.
Yeah, don't worry.
Teacher, these are your last. At this moment,
Few minutes.
11 minutes sharing with us in class.
Well,
maybe
I'll see you. Maybe I'll see you next week or in a month.
Yeah. And maybe we can talk about something.
We can't. That's it. We have to work. And besides, it gets very awkward when you guys take the conversations because you have very different philosophies, everybody. So maybe not. Okay. All right. So okay. So I'm not going to move everybody. So okay. So Adriana and Alfredo, you're going to go to this page and read this letter and answer these questions. Okay?
Read the letter. The part that says letters to the editor.
Editor. Okay, that text is about the one we did. Okay, and the rest, page 140. Read the letter, answer the questions. All right. So let's take a picture here if you need to.
Hold on. I don't get it.
In this moment, Kenneth Tensi is going to represent Costa Rica in the Olympics Games.
No.
Okay. All right. So everybody ready with this picture?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. Do you need the pictures here at the back of the book or not?
No.
Okay. All right. So let's work in pairs. Read the text and answer the questions.
All right.
Okay, we are going to move to page 139. Okay,
Okay.
well, it is letters to the editor. I will read it. And in last week's edition, Mark Wright longs for the good old days. An international traveler, he claims that today everything looks the same no matter what continent he is on. He implies that there are no individual cultures and that national identities are disappearing. I strongly disagree with him, and I'm shocked by his wildly inappropriate negativity. How can he fail to see and appreciate the incredible diversity in the world today? In the past, people tend to be stereotyped.
People
Okay, in the past, people to be
tended.
tended to be stereotyped by nationality or where they lived. With a more international view, today people are less specific, are less are less specifically pigeonholed by
Mhm,
where they come from.
mhm,
Being Chinese, Mexican, or Canadian no longer defines you. It's only part of who you are. Now it's commonplace for any person to eat from the endless menu of of international cuisine,
mhm,
go on vacation anywhere from Burma to Bolivia, and have friends from around the world. In my opinion, this diversity and and avail- availability is a good thing. Yes, identical chain restaurants keep popping up globally,
Copy.
popping up
Mhm,
globally, but that doesn't mean you have to drink frapp- frappuccinos or eat Big Macs. You can choose to have sushi, curry chicken, pad thai, or a falafel instead.
mhm,
There were hardly this many choices in Wright's good old days.
mhm.
Well, I agree with she.
With her.
Oh, okay, with her, sorry.
Mhm. Huh? But now we have to answer the questions.
Okay.
Mhm.
Wait.
So let's switch back to the page with the questions and answer the questions. All right. So
Okay.
keep on working.
Okay. And well, does the Crichton mostly agree or
Okay.
disagree with Mark Wright? No, no.
I'm agree.
It is asking if she
Ah,
agrees
with her.
with Mark.
Okay. I agree with her about let me see. Well, this article talk about different topics. For example, the foreign language and the food, and it said that there
Okay.
are different clothes.
But well, yeah, that's fine, I guess. And what does she mean by a more international view?
And well, the text don't say exactly this word, but I think that it means like other
Okay.
world languages are doing very well. Or I think that because that.
Let's see. Well, what is the main point she makes about food? Well, I will answer this one.
Let me see.
Her point about the food is that you, okay, Margaret talks about you will see the same McDonald's and the same Starbucks in all the countries, but she's regret. Okay, she is disappointing because no, she disagree because it depends to you if you want to go to every McDonald's. If you want, well, you don't have to go in to a McDonald's in Italy. If you don't want, you can go to a typical restaurant and eat something Italian. I mean, I need Italian food. Well, you don't have to ask for a Big Mac. So, well, yes, I think that the diversity is still exceeding.
Yes, about the food. She talked about Chinese restaurants and rice. Well, there are a lot of foods.
Mhm.
I think that, for example, rice, burgers, and what is the main point she makes about food? Maybe it will taste
Well,
different,
no, she was saying that
different
you
food,
don't have to.
or what do
Okay,
you
we have to.
think? Or the culture? Ah, okay.
Recording in progress.
Okay, everybody is muted. Okay, so the two letters, guys, that we read, they're different from each other, from the different groups. Okay, so what was your letter about?
Um,
Does that person
uh,
agree or disagree with Mark Wright?
on most of the points, he agreed with Mark Wright, but at the end of the letter, he disagreed with him.
Okay. You know, in what way?
Okay. He agreed with him when he said that the world is richer right now than in the past, and he disagreed when he said that why he always take a room on a Hilton if he can take a room on another hotel, and he can find the culture and see something different or more interesting than always being on a Hilton hotel.
Okay. Adriana, what about the other letter? What was that about?
It was about the people can travel around the world and can know different cultures.
And does that person agree or disagree with Mark Wright?
I don't know.
She disagreed, teacher. And she disagree, and she well.
It's a different letter. It's from 139.
Okay.
Okay, but yeah, I see that it is time. So that's it for this week, guys. So maybe I'll see you in the future on Monday or down the line. But it was nice working with you all this time. If I don't see you.
Thanks for everything, teacher.
Thanks for everything, teacher.
Thank you, teacher.
It was a pleasure.
Bye.
Teacher, thank you for everything.
Bye, teacher.
Take care.
Thank you for everything.
And
Thank you for listening.
Bye-bye.
Have
I was about to say something, but I already
Thank you,
forget it.
teacher.
So
Goodbye.
don't worry, teacher.
It's okay,
Bye-bye.
Sofia.